definitely in my zone. Fire in my bones, so best believe it's on. Sweat and tears I've invested in this game, so I lay it on the line because I come to do my thing, do my thing. I'm on.
What's going on? Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves. I hope everybody's up, ready for the day, ready to get the day started. Um, Ready to have a great day. It's almost Christmas time. It's the holiday season. Wishing everybody the best. Wishing everybody Merry Christmas. If I don't see you or talk to you between now and then, and a Happy New Year and all that good stuff that goes along with that. I hope everybody is ready for Christmas, if that's what you celebrate, because I'm not. I still have to run out and get some things and do some things. But I do hope that everybody is enjoying the season and giving the season for what it is, and that's to spend it with family. But with that, we will go ahead and get into this, and we'll go through the pre-markets. We'll get into some news. There was some news that developed with FTX overnight. There was some charges filed versus Caroline and Wang. So we'll go ahead and get into them in a little while. Look at the pre-markets, look at the crypto market. Not a lot of news happened overnight with the crypto market, so we'll focus a little bit more on the FTX situation, and what's going on there. Sam is on his way back to the United States. He should be here today. Um, so we'll kind of talk a little bit about all that stuff that's going on. And I got a clip from the New York District Attorney's Office for the federal government, and I'll go ahead and play that for you, and you guys can hear what he has to say about what's going on and the charges and against Caroline and Wang, and whereas SBF is in the process of getting back to the United States. So market looks red today, but doesn't really surprise me. We had a huge day in the market yesterday, biggest day in December as far as gains go. So it doesn't surprise me that in the early markets we have a little pullback right now. Usually happens after a big day. Don't be surprised if this turns around a little bit as the day goes on. I expect that. I expect it to turn a little bit as the morning goes on, just because it's Christmas time. People are shoring up their books, but you have to be careful because right now a lot of people are taking losses for tax reasons as well. It happens every year, and also taking money out of the market to go ahead and do their Christmas and New Year's plans and travel and things like that. But the biggest part is that people are taking money out of the market right now for taxes. And if you know the tax game, you'll understand that sometimes it's better to take a loss on some investments and write them off on your taxes than it is to sit there and hold on to them. And that's kind of what I think is going on in both the crypto and the stock market right now. It happens every year. It's nothing new. So that's kind of what's going on. But we got the red S&P, the Dow, and the Nasdaq are all sitting in red right now. On the pre-markets, these may flip and change as they do a lot when we're talking. So don't be surprised if we flip these around. The fear and greed index right now sitting at 20, 28. It's up 2 points from yesterday, but it's still in fear. So we always hover around this. We've been hovering around this 25 to 30 area for a long time, and it doesn't surprise me that we're still sitting here, given the market conditions. So still sitting in fear, but you know what? In fear is where you can start building your bags, making a lot of money. So it doesn't surprise me. don't be scared of it. Is what I'm telling you. Crypto bubbles on the day. Looks like the overseas markets, um, they they didn't like crypto all that well last night. We'll see what happens as the American markets start to wake up and they start to trade. We'll see what happens, and see where this market goes as the morning moves on. But the overseas market didn't necessarily care for the altcoins all too well last night. Um, but Bitcoin is not doing too bad. Still sitting at 16,838. Ethereum sitting at 1,218. They look like they're even on the hourly and just slightly green or slightly red on the overnight. So they're hanging in there. BNB, it lost a little bit last night, but it looks like it's even on the hourly. This thing was around 250 yesterday. Lost a couple bucks. Nothing too significant. XRP sitting at 34 cents right now. About even on the hourly, and a little bit negative on the hour on a 24 hour. So sitting around 34 cents. Dogecoin continues to pull back. I believe that this is a direct correlation between Elon stepping down as gonna step down as CEO of Twitter. There's a little bit of fear in Dogecoin and what the future of that is with Twitter, and it kind of explains the pullback a little, but nothing too significant. It just seems to just kind of be hovering around a 7-cent range. Not a lot of movement there, so it is what it is. At that point, Cardano continues to hover around this quarter mark. They're just getting hammered right now. Polygon still at 79 cents. Didn't do much yesterday. Rode up into the 80-cent range for a little while. But for the past 2 days, we've been sitting at 79 cents for a minute. So it is overperforming the market a little bit. I know we talk about that a lot, but not anything to even speak about. It seems to be running even with the market. Shiba Inu still sitting at 15. The announcement hurt them. It hurt. It hurt where they were at. It hurt them bad. But they're running with the market right now. I think everybody that was going to sell off from the announcement already sold off, and then you're just getting right back into the holders that were holding the floor anyways. There was a report, and I'm not bringing it up today, but we can talk about it, that the Ethereum whales are still buying into Shiba at a good rate. So that's good for Shiba. Helps them hold their floor until they can get some use case and some utility out, and that's exactly what they need to do in a hurry. They can't wait. Solana continues to just fall. We were talking about this in the $13 range last week. Now it's sitting at the low $12 range. Running with the market. Floor is not in on Solana. Is my thought. It's still got some pullback to go. Got to get through the FTX bankruptcy stuff and see what their exposure, what they're gonna do with the Solana that Alameda and FTX own, which is about between 11 and 13% of the supply. And if they decide to sell that in the open market during the bankruptcy hearing, that's going to really hurt that price. So got to pay attention to that. Uniswap, we don't talk a lot about the Uniswap token, but it's a token that people probably should pay a little bit more attention to. They came out with some news that they're going to start to integrate MoonPay into their platform, where people can buy and sell crypto using their credit and debit card. So that's some pretty big news for Uniswap being a DEX. So they're starting to innovate and move their DEX along a little bit. So makes it easier for people to buy and sell crypto. So, Uniswap, they they're the leaders right now, first to the market, have the majority of the market share. So pay attention to the Uniswap token, along with the Pancake Swap token, as DEXs become more and more integrated into DeFi. Um, these DEXs will start to get used more and more. So something to pay attention to, something to watch out for. Kronos, well, no, we'll go to Stellar. Sitting at 7 cents, hovering here forever. Looks like we found a new line. Looks like Stellar found a new line of support at the 7 cent mark. So, it was sitting at that 8-9 cent range. Looks like it found a new level at the 7 cent range. So, it's been hovering here for a week or so. Kronos still sitting at 5 cents. Pretty much running with the market today. Is there going to be some more pullback with Kronos? There very well may. We could see this at 3 cents, given some issues or some negativity that they have going around. So, I could see some pullback, but at the end of the day, Kronos, I believe, will make it through this bear market. Will make it through the centralized exchange fiasco that we're in right now. So, something to watch out for if you're looking to get in Crow. Just make sure you dollar cost average in, see where it goes. Quant sitting at 104, continues to pull back, running a little bit with the market right now, but continues to pull back over the 24-hour and the long term. Quant seems to every time it seems to get to this $100 range, it seems to bounce back up to like the 120 range. So, we're getting close to the normal bounce for Quant. So let's kind of see if that holds up this time, or if it continues to fall a little bit lower than it has in the past. H-bar still sitting at 4 cents, hovering here forever. Seems to be that line where H-bar seems to be most comfortable right now, is that 4 cent range. Every time it goes up to 5 cents, it seems to bounce back down to 4. Seems to be real comfortable at this 4 cent range right now. So nothing surprising or shocking there. We'll come back up here. We'll change these bubbles to hourly. We'll see what is going on as we're talking here. See if anything changes. Looks like a lot of red still, which kind of matches up with your pre-markets right now. They're in red, so they all kind of match. So looks good. I shouldn't say looks good, but it as long as they match, at least you know what to expect. So the expectation is that the market will open in red, and so won't crypto. But I think we're going to turn that around. Good morning, Seiko Hunt. How are you? I think the market will turn around as the day moves on, but you kind of have to expect some red. Like I was saying, yesterday the stock market had its biggest day in December, so you expect to see a little pullback today, but hopefully when it opens up, it rallies and it pulls crypto along with it, because as you can see, crypto seems to be following suit, and we just seem to be hovering right here. And Bitcoin still sitting at $16,842. Looks like it's gaining some momentum over the hour. The same with Ethereum. Looks like as the American markets are starting to wake up, the altcoins are starting to come alive a little bit. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign to at least hold the line for the day. So let's go ahead and look at the crypto market cap. Sitting about 8,000,000,010. When we were talking yesterday morning, we're sitting around 8,000,000,013. So about $3 billion came out of the market overnight, which is why when you first woke up this morning, you see some negative price action. Slight negative price action, I should say. $3 billion coming out of the market overnight is not a small it's not small change when your total market cap is only 800 billion. It will have some sort of negative impact on the market, which we're seeing. But you know, we got to get that market cap steady at some point. So let's get into a little bit of this news. So FTX's Gary Wang and Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison plead guilty to criminal charges, and this is in direct connection with the FTX fiasco. I want to stop sharing my screen because I share this with you in a different way, and we can go ahead and listen to this press conference from the federal prosecutor who presented these charges. In order for me to get the sound, I have to share this with you in a different way. So we'll go ahead and share this with you, and then we'll actually go ahead and read off the charges and talk about them. But so Seiko, let me know if you can hear this.
Last week, we announced charges against Samuel Bankman-Fried for a sweeping fraud scheme that contributed to FTX's collapse, and for a campaign finance scheme that sought to influence public policy in Washington. As I said last week, this investigation is very much ongoing, and it's moving very quickly. I also said that last week's announcement would not be our last, and let me be clear once again, neither is today's. I want to make two announcements. First, I'm announcing that the Southern District of New York has filed charges against Caroline Ellison, the former CEO of Alameda Research, and Gary Wang, a co-founder of FTX, in connection with their roles in the frauds that contributed to FTX's collapse. Both Ms. Ellison and Mr. Wang have pled guilty to those charges, and they are both cooperating with the Southern District of New York. Let me reiterate a call that I made last week. If you participated in misconduct at FTX or Alameda, now is the time to get ahead of it. We are moving quickly, and our patience is not eternal. Second, I'm announcing that Samuel Bankman-Fried is now in FBI custody and is on his way back to the United States. He will be transported directly to the Southern District of New York, and he will appear in court before a judge in this district as soon as possible. Many individuals in the Bahamas and in the United States contributed to the swiftness of the defendant's return, and I want to thank the Bahamas for its outstanding assistance and excellent coordination with us. I also want to thank our partners at the United States Embassy in the Bahamas and the Justice Department's Office of International Affairs. And finally, I want to thank the FBI for moving mountains to get this done. This was a true team effort. Finally, I want to thank the career prosecutors from my office who were handling this case. We continue to work around the clock, and we are far from done. Thank you.
So, as you can see from that press conference, Caroline and Wang were charged. FTX is on his way back, and Caroline and Wang are actually helping with the investigation. We called that here yesterday. If you remember, Seiko, I said it. I said, I bet you that they're helping. I bet you that they're the ones that are putting the pieces together. And that's exactly what's going on right now. Let me find this part here where it tells me what they're charged with. I was just reading it this morning. This just happened last night, late last night. Right here. They're both charged with the same thing. Conspiracy to commit wire fraud of customers' funds, and then conspiracy to commit wire fraud of actual agency funds or FTX funds. Conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Not conspiracy, but wire fraud itself, both the customer and Alameda. So they've charged them with conspiracy and the actual crime itself. And then there's the SEC commodity charges in here somewhere, alongside Ellison's. Also pleaded guilty to conspiracy to conspiracy to commit commodities fraud, which is what the SEC charged them with, commodities fraud, conspiracy. So they've been charged with 4 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of commodities fraud. But the key is that they are assisting the district attorney in the prosecution of this case. And we said it yesterday. We kind of talked about it. We touched on it a little bit, where the new CEO of FTX found $1 billion in assets. And I said I wouldn't be surprised if Caroline Ellison and a couple other people are helping them behind the scenes track this money down. And I believe that that's what's going on. I believe that they're helping, and obviously this just confirms the fact that they are participating in the investigation, and they've already pleaded guilty. So there will be no trial for them. They will just be sentenced. Caroline Ellison and Wong are both participating and have already pleaded guilty. So they're basically done with the criminal proceedings, all but sentencing. So there will be no trial for them, but obviously they're assisting with the investigation, so they will be centerpieces to the investigation. And I'm pretty sure the information that they're providing to the FBI and the federal government and also the SEC is probably very valuable information, and maybe some information that they would have never found if it wasn't for these 2 participating. So it's kind of how this thing is unfolding. And if you listen to what the attorney said there, he said this isn't going to be the last press conference. These aren't going to be the last charges. So if you were dirty, basically, if you're dirty, you better fess up now, because their patients are running thin. So I think you're going to see more press conferences like this. You're going to see more people charged. I don't think by any means we've seen the end of FTX. We didn't see the end. We haven't seen the end of the fallout yet of FTX. I think there's going to be more charges, like he said. There's going to be some surprises. There's going to be some people charged that maybe we don't know about, but it's definitely not over. Good morning, Maddie. How are you? So it's definitely not over from that press conference that we just listened to. The charges are going to continue to come, and I think the charges also are going to be maybe some surprises, guys. There very well may be some surprise charges that are coming, and we're gonna sit back and wait, because I think that it's going to be one of these things where, as this thing unfolds, nobody's going to know. So until it happens, I did say she was a rat. She is, man. Her and Wang are assisting in the investigation. So as they assist in this investigation, you're gonna see more and more. And the money that they recovered, yesterday, when we talked about them guys recovering $1 billion, I think these guys are really helping them guys track down the assets and where they are. And what's going to be interesting, and I said this yesterday, we were talking about it a little bit, is, as they're finding this money, whose wallets are they actually finding, and can they identify the person with the wallet? And that's going to be a very interesting development. If they can actually, if Caroline and Wayne can actually tie the wallet to the person for the federal government, that could get sticky, and that could get interesting at the same time. So it very well could happen. And listen, they didn't plead guilty to a deal that didn't benefit them. I can tell you that. Amazing young person like that couldn't be happy with a couple of hundred million. No, yeah, like they got greedy, man. They got greedy, and they were taking money and misallocating funds, and they were trying to hide things and basically become the kings and queens of crypto. And like this was a fraudulent, in my opinion, this was a fraudulent scheme from the beginning. I know some people say, like Sam Bankman probably started out with the best intentions, and then money got to him, or he couldn't run the business. I didn't think so. I think that this was set up this way from the jump. I think it was set up this way from the start. I think when we look at this, it's one of these things that were set up from the start to do exactly what it did, and they got caught. Good morning, Big Watch. How are you? Everybody's saying what's up to Big Watch. Glad you came this morning, Big Watch. But I think FTX and Alameda were set up to intentionally scam people from day one of the setup of both of them businesses. The way that they were set up, when you look at the way Alameda was set up, and you look at the way that they funneled money through through FTX to Alameda, that doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen overnight. It's something that's well thought out, something that's well planned. It's something that when you look at it, it's something that, not two people that don't know what, not a group of people that don't know what they're doing can set that up and make it run the way that they were running it, and filter all that money the way that they were filtering it. So, this was scam since day one. It's my opinion. But the fact that Caroline Ellison is telling, and she's helping the authorities, I think you're going to see a lot. You're going to see a lot of information. And like I keep saying, pay attention, because Caroline and Wang, even though they're recovering this money, if they can tie these wallets back to people, you're going to see people charged. You're going to see people charged. Big Watch. I don't know if Maddie listened to it. I didn't listen to it. I missed it. So, I think you'll see, we may end up seeing some people charged if these wallets get tied back that aren't even in the news yet, that we don't even know about. But when we get to that, that point, I want to listen to that press conference again, because I want, everybody to understand what was being said from the district attorney, of what actually was being said, because, you have to listen to what somebody's telling you to understand what's going on. And if you just listen to what he's saying, it lead if you just listen to what he's saying, this leads you, it lets you know what's going to happen, what's going on. So, like I was saying before, if you just listen to what he's saying, what he's telling you is that he's not done yet. And what he's also saying is if you know you're dirty in this, um, you it's probably in your best interest to come clean, right? It's in your best interest to come clean now because their patients are running thin. Caroline is the piece to all this. She's gonna put all this together for everybody. She's the one. She's the one that's going to. She has the inside information on how things were ran, and she has the inside information on where the money went. So she knows, and she took the deal. So because she took the deal, she's going to cooperate. Big watch. Do I think Sam Bankman-Fried will throw Dirty Gary under the bus? You know what? I think Sam Bankman-Fried is his days are numbered in this trial. I don't really think they're going to listen to a lot of what he says. I think you're going to find out that Wang and Caroline are going to be the star witnesses in this case, and they're the ones that are going to tie it all together. And if Gary Gensler's dirty in this and they can prove it, then yeah, I think it'll come out. So that video came out yesterday. That's a new one. Just saying that Caroline and Wang pleaded guilty to the charges, and we went over the charges that they pleaded guilty to, which was all in all, it ended up being 4 charges of wire fraud and one charge of conspiracy to commit commodities fraud. So you have two charges of conspiracy for wire fraud, 2 charges of actual wire fraud, and then 1 charge of actual of commodities fraud. Thank you, Seiko. So them are the new charges, and they've already pleaded guilty. So this isn't something that they're being charged with. And we're going to see a trial. They've already pleaded guilty. So the only thing left for them to are sentencing, and the more they cooperate and the better this investigation goes, the lesser their sentences are going to be. So it's in their best interest to cooperate. It's in their best interest to really work with the federal government to put this case together. Once they took that plea, that's what was in their best interest to do, and that's what they're doing. And you can see the results. They're recovering money. They're doing all this stuff. So somebody behind the scenes was helping them. We knew that. We talked about that here. And now you see the results. There was one guy who was trying to get Milton Big Y still talk about that terrarium space. I wasn't on it, man. To commit to not using the marketing wallet anymore. Milton's never going to commit to not using the marketing wallet anymore. That's how they're funding the exchange. Can you play that video again? The one on Twitter. Did you see that XXI Gaming? Did you see that? I mean, I can pull it up again. I can play it again. But did you see it? Because I just played it. Let me know. Let me know if you actually seen it again. If not, I can play it again. I just got to bring it back up. Not a big deal. Just let me know. But yeah, so these stories are developing, and it's one of these things, guys. I'm telling you, this thing's gonna unfold, and I think we're gonna find out that people are dirtier than what you believe they are. And like I said, it's all on a blockchain, right? And if you can tie blockchain back to people, you're in trouble. That can create a lot of trouble. It's interesting that they filed the charges under commodities and not digital assets. Yeah, it's interesting, but you got to understand, Caroline was dealing with a hedge fund. She was dealing with Alameda Research, which is a hedge fund. So her situation is a little bit different than Sam and FTX, because hedge funds are highly regulated. All right, Big Watch, I'll play it again. So hedge funds are already highly regulated. So it's one of them things where she was dead in the water before she even started. So it was always in her best interest to participate. All right, here we go.
Last week, we announced charges against Samuel Bankman-Fried for a sweeping fraud scheme that contributed to FTX's collapse, and for a campaign finance scheme that sought to influence public policy in Washington. As I said last week, this investigation is very much ongoing, and it's moving very quickly. I also said that last week's announcement would not be our last, and let me be clear once again, neither is today's. I want to make two announcements. First, I'm announcing that the Southern District of New York has filed charges against Caroline Ellison, the former CEO of Alameda Research, and Gary Wang, a co-founder of FTX, in connection with their roles in the frauds that contributed to FTX's collapse. Both Ms. Ellison and Mr. Wang have pled guilty to those charges, and they are both cooperating with the Southern District of New York. Let me reiterate a call that I made last week. If you participated in misconduct at FTX or Alameda, now is the time to get ahead of it. We are moving quickly, and our patience is not eternal. Second, I'm announcing that Samuel Bankman-Fried is now in FBI custody and is on his way back to the United States. He will be transported directly to the Southern District of New York, and he will appear in court before a judge in this district as soon as possible. Many individuals in the Bahamas and in the United States contributed to the swiftness of the defendant's return, and I want to thank the Bahamas for its outstanding assistance and excellent coordination with us. I also want to thank our partners at the United States Embassy in the Bahamas and the Justice Department's Office of International Affairs. And finally, I want to thank the FBI for moving mountains to get this done. This was a true team effort. Finally, I want to thank the career prosecutors from my office who are handling this case. We continue to work around the clock, and we are far from done. Thank you.
There it is, Big Watch. And if you move down in this article a little bit, it tells you what the charges actually are. You got conspiracy to commit wire fraud on customers of FTX, wire fraud on customers of FTX, conspiracy to commit wire fraud on lenders of Alameda Research. I missed one. Wire fraud on there's two here for FTX and one here for Alameda, and then commodities right here where it says the commodities fraud, and it's conspiracy to commit commodities fraud. So they've already pled guilty, as you guys can hear. Like, and this is something that they're saying that they're not done. After watching the video, I'm almost convinced justice will be served. Yeah, I think so. I think Sam is going to go down. I think a lot of people are going to go down. I think you're going to see Sam's parents go down as well. Just my thought. That's my thought. He's setting up for something big. I believe that he's setting up for something big. I don't think that you've heard the last of charges, and I don't think that we know everybody that's going to be charged either. I think there's going to be some people that'll be charged in this that we're going to be surprised that are going to be charged. There was a lot of funny business going on behind them scenes, and a lot of people knew what was going on. That are running around here acting like they didn't know what was going on. And that's how I feel, and that's how I see this going. He came out, very rarely do you see district attorneys like that come out and guarantee you that their investigation is going to continue and that this won't be the last press conference. In a trial this size or of this magnitude, usually they're very cautious in what they say and they don't overpromise. But I think with Caroline and Wang assisting in the investigation, they're going to uncover way more than they would if they would have just did the investigation themselves. Because let's be honest, they don't understand blockchain like them two understand blockchain, and they can't follow the flow of money on blockchain like them two can really lay the flow of money of blockchain out to them of what was going on. So, like I said, the more they cooperate, the more evidence they give them, the better it's going to look for them at sentencing. And they've already pleaded guilty, so what the hell else do they have to lose? I can't wait. I can't wait for there to be a drag his parents into this. It's coming. It's coming. I believe it's coming. At the very least, his father, who got paid from FTX for some legal advice, I believe at least at minimum his father will get dragged into this. Um, but there's an interesting charge of campaign finance that Sam's charged with, and given the fact that his mom was ran a big campaign funding arm of her her business. I I don't I don't think she's clean either. So we're gonna see. We're gonna figure it out. It's going to drag out. So it'll get interesting. But market's still sitting in red today, guys. But like I said earlier, this is really no big surprise, given the fact that we had a run yesterday in the stock market, finished really high. So usually, when you have one of your better days in the stock market, it's followed by a little bit of red in the pre-market. So we have to wait until 9:30 to see where this market really shakes itself out, because it's you're just following a big day. Where are we at on the hourly bubbles here? There's still a lot of red on this chart, but the American investors are just starting to wake up. This is still early for them. People are, the overseas markets didn't treat crypto well last night. It held the line, where you didn't see a big, huge sell off, but you didn't see any gains either. But it is tax time, guys, and I can tell you guys just from experience, people are taking losses on cryptos and stocks to offset their taxes, and that's a real thing that really happens. It's really going on right now. That's not a fantasy. Um, that's not people just talking. I can tell you from experience, it happens. Um, so, and sometimes it's more beneficial for taxes for you to take a loss and then buy back in after your taxes are filed than it is for you to continually hang on. And don't take my advice. Make sure you get a tax attorney, because that's not always the case. But for some in some cases, in some instances, it is. It's actually benefits you to take a loss. Bitcoin sitting at 16.8, 22 still, pulling back a little bit. Pulling back a little bit from where we started. Ethereum sitting at 1,216. It's pulling back a little bit from when we started talking this morning too. BNB pulling back just a little bit from where we started. So the market's starting to pull back a little bit, but we got to wait till 9:30. Votes in the House. I said absolutely all of my losses to 2022 to offset that gains. Yeah, and a lot of that big armory is what's going on right now, and people think sometimes that that's a fake thing, but that's real. And I've done that a couple times. I've had to do that a couple times. I sometimes you sell things at a loss just to offset your gains, and it's real. And it goes on in the crypto market, it goes on in the stock market. So you see a lot of that in December, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I heard you say you're a basketball coach. Are you a Knicks fan? I am a basketball coach, and I am a Knicks fan. Well, I was a basketball coach. I'll put it to you like that. I coached a couple national ranked basketball teams on the AAU level, and then coached Division III for a little while, and then decided to go ahead and get back into the corporate world. I am a Knicks fan. They let me down. Nice show on Space Chicks. Yes, we had a blast on Space Chicks channel last night. That was unbelievable. The amount of people that were there, the fun that we had, it definitely was a party. Definitely was a party. But As we talk, this market is pulling back. And it's not a surprise, given the pre-markets in the stock market. Given the pre-markets in the stock market being all red, it's not a shock. But when you have a big day in the stock market like you had yesterday, which was the biggest day in December, you have to wake up and expect the market to pull back a little bit. This happens, it's gonna happen. And like Big Armory said, people are writing, especially in the stock market world, people are taking their losses and they're writing them off on their taxes. And you have to write off some losses to offset your gains in this game of the stock market and crypto market. And I'm not telling you guys, I don't ever talk about my financial situation on here, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and tell you that I don't write off my losses to offset my gains in either the crypto market or the stock market. It happens all the time. And when you see some projects that are going down in price, people are taking their losses. Thanks, Big Watch. Did any of your AAU teams run into Bronny? Yeah, we played in that league. We played alongside of them with in the Peachtree Classics in South Carolina and stuff. So yeah, we played against them. And D Wade's kid, we played against both of them. I actually my teams played against Bron and Wade's kids. My teams played against a lot of NBA kids. A lot of NBA players' kids. CP3 kid, we played against CP3's kids. We played against a lot of people. We always ended up playing in Orlando at Disneyland at the end of the year. We always ended up, that's where their national championships are. And only a certain amount of teams get invites there. So we always ended up there. My take on his skills, he'll be in the NBA. He'll be a powerhouse, and just leave it there. He'll be a powerhouse in the NBA. So won't D Wade's kid. They're too big. They're big. They're fast. They're skilled. They understand the game, and you can tell that they grew up around the game. They're a little bit smarter than your average kid at that age when it comes to the game. But looking at this hourly chart, guys, we're pulling back a little bit. So this morning is going to be interesting as to how the crypto market shakes out in the morning. Remember a couple things about this week when it comes to both the stock market and crypto market. One is it's Thursday, and the stock market has a short day tomorrow because of the holiday, and Fridays are usually down days anyways. But remember what we say on Friday, it's never about how when it comes to the crypto market, it's never about how the Friday stock market opens. It's all about how it closes. That usually sets the tone for the weekend. So how that short day tomorrow closes is going to be a big deal when it comes to the crypto market going into the holiday season. And also understand that it is a holiday season. Christmas will be here this weekend. So you're not going to see a lot of trading going on in the volumes that you used to seeing it go on, just because of the holiday season and travel and people just not investing in the market during this time. So you're gonna see some price action fluctuate probably to the downside. Um, I can tell you that if you're looking to get into a project and DCA your way in or find an entry point, pay attention to this weekend. Don't let the holiday set some alerts to the prices that you want to get in or you want to DCA your way into a project, because you may see them prices this weekend and even going into the new year, just because of the time of the year it is. And you actually could find yourself getting into a project or DCAing into a project, or hitting your next DCA level that you didn't think you were going to hit this year. You may actually find yourself being able to hit that this between now and the new year, for all the reasons that we just talked about. You know, the fact that people are taking losses, the fact that it's a holiday weekend, the fact that the stock market has a short day tomorrow, the fact that we're already in a recession, regardless of what they say, the market's already down. So all these things are going to play a factor into what the price action, and you may find yourself in a good situation this weekend if you have a little bit of money to spend, and you want to spend it. So that's why we always say keep money on the side. Don't put all your money into the market. Keep some on the side, because you can't buy into a project or DCA into a project if all your money's already invested in the market. So always keep some money on the side for days like this and weeks like this. I have a feeling it's going to be a down week. I have a feeling it's going to be down all the way probably until the new year. We usually get a Christmas rally, but I think we got our Christmas rally early this year. If you go back and look at the charts, a couple weeks ago we had a pump, a little pump. It wasn't a big pump, but I think that was our Christmas rally. And I think now, from now until the end of the year, you're going to see a lot of this red. You're going to see a lot of this red, and it's normal. It's okay. It's normal. Don't get crazy. Don't get scared. Don't go pulling your money out. If you can keep your money in the market, keep it in the market. Why sell at the floor? Doesn't make a lot of sense unless you're in profit and you need it. Why sell your crypto or your stocks at the floor, at the bottom? Why take losses when you don't have to take losses? If you're taking losses for tax reasons, I understand that. If you're taking losses to provide for your family, I understand that too. I'll never count another man or a woman's pockets, but if you don't need to sell, don't sell at the bottom, because we're almost at the bottom. Doesn't make a lot of sense to unload your stuff at the bottom. So, that's just my take on where we're headed this week. So, can you customize these bubbles, or is it that I could go in and favorite certain cryptos that would allow them to come up as I'm looking at them, but I look at the market as a whole, so I don't customize them. But if anybody else wanted to go in there and look at these bubbles, they could go in there and favorite certain cryptos, and they would always show up. But I look at the market as a whole. But if anybody else wants to go in and customize it, they can. What do you think about the new changes going to VoltaChain? I love VoltaChain. I love kind of what Pablo brought up yesterday about where they're headed and the changes that are coming. I absolutely love that. I think that it's we're in phase 1 of VoltaChain right now. Multiple phases will come out. if they can successfully make it a one-stop shop where you can track all your buys and all your sells, it kind of like Coinbase has an app that you can use, and you can put your wallets in there, and it helps you with tax season and tracks your wallets, and it gives you all your buys and sells and tells you whether you're up or tells you whether you're down. That sounded a lot like what we were talking about last night. And if you can integrate that in there, that's going to be amazing. The limit orders going live will be amazing on VoltExchange. I think that there's a lot going on there. I think that there's a lot that they can do. I think you're going to see it in phases, which is exactly how you should see it. You know, you don't want to throw everything out there at once, and then you don't have anything else to throw out there. But I think that they're just starting. So I'm excited. All right. Was going to say I can't wait to see Volt on there. I can't wait either. I think it will be there. I think it's going to be up there. I think it's going to be sitting in here somewhere with these bubbles. It's going to be sitting in here somewhere. And I think we're going to see it up top here at some point. So try to see if I can actually. Whoa. Did you see that market just turn when I clicked that button? We can look at a couple of these projects before we leave here. I want to see. Check something out real quick. You guys can see me check some stuff out. So overall, sitting at 6087. Took a little bit of a pullback, but the market's pulling back. You guys seen that? Sitting up there with all the red. The market's pulling back, so you know you got to expect that. Let's see here. I want to see. Volume. So Volt's doing 1.4 million in volume on Poloniex over the 24-hour period, over 24 hours. Can you believe that? 1.4 million on one exchange. Gate.io, which everybody raves about being so huge, just doing almost a million, just under a million, but you're doing 1.4 million on Poloniex right now in this 24-hour period. That's unbelievable value. Unbelievable volume for them. I can say getting on this exchange, Poloniex exchange, was probably the biggest bullish move Volt has pulled off in 2023, and in 2022. And the reason I say that is just because of the volume alone. I mean, you're looking at 1.4 million over a 24-hour period. Think about that. You know, what other move did you pull off the rest of the year that netted you over $1 million in volume a day? VoltExchange will. Eventually it will. I believe that. We got some preliminary numbers last night. And you go back and watch the live stream with Space Chick. We're talking about $250,000 of volume a day, somewhere up in there. So obviously it's going to grow. It's going to grow over time. But when you're looking at the immediate and you're looking at right now, and you're looking at somebody, this is just one exchange, 1.4 million a day. Where did you go to find that? If you go to CoinMarketCap and you type in Volt, and you search Volt, you know it's going to give you all the statistics. It's going to give you everything you need to know up top. But if you keep scrolling down to the bottom, it'll give you the centralized exchanges that they're on. And if you hit see all of them are not listed here, but a lot of them are. And you can just kind of scroll down and you can see what type of 24-hour volume they're doing on each exchange. But the front page of that is gives you gives you Poloniex in the top 3. Like it's if you just scroll down to the bottom, it'll be there. You'll see it. It's right here. Just go to the front page and keep scrolling. It'll give you 6. But if you want to see more, you just hit see more, and it'll show you everything that they're reporting out for volume per exchange. And you can see that for any token that's listed on CoinMarketCap. So this is how you can monitor the volume that each exchange is doing for every project you're in. Gives you a good idea. Gives you a good idea of whether or not, you look at your Uniswap volume for Volt, you're only sitting at 111,000. And you're only doing, 4,300 on PancakeSwap. But when you get down here to some of these major exchanges, this is where your volume's coming from. Your volumes, this is the power of centralized exchanges. This is your value. This is where it's coming from. 1.4 million at Poloniex, just under $1 million at Gate.io. Some of them are doing very little, but some of them are absolutely killing it. So your volume, it's all calculated up here in the total volume. You look at the centralized exchange volume is 4.4 million, and the DEX volume is only 115,000, call it 116,000. So you look at your centralized exchange volume being at 4.4 million, and then your DEX volume is only at 115,000. Some projects would kill for 115,000 worth of DEX volume, but when you match that up against your centralized exchange volume, your centralized exchanges are killing it. BitTrue. We can look at the volumes. We can go ahead and take a look here. Did you say Bittrex? Yep, Bittrex. What is Bittrex doing? Bittrex, this one. It's not doing, didn't do that great last night. All right, what's that? 44,000. Bittrex didn't, unless they have a separate listing here for something else. Unless that's a different pair. Let me scroll down and see, because a lot of times it'll list it by pairs too. So and you got to remember too, when you're looking at these, look over here. Look over here and see when the last time it was updated, because some of them will say soon and some of them will be in red, which means that you're not dealing with the most current numbers. So be careful with that too. Make sure that you're only concentrating on the ones that are current. And a lot of people sleep on some of these exchanges here in the United States, but they don't realize that some of these exchanges are huge overseas, where it's like this BTCX. You look at the volume of that. Like it looks small, but some of these exchanges are big overseas. We just don't know about them in the United States, but they do tons and tons of volume overseas. So, um, you got to pay attention to that as well. So, but yeah, that's kind of where you find them. Uniswap's doing like 111. Poloniex is sitting there at $1 million. I can't believe that. Gate.io is sitting there just under $1 million. L Bank's doing about 118,000. BKEX is doing about 88,000. So confidence high on the bear market. Yeah, my confidence is high on the bear market too. I think this if you play this bear market right, you literally can make millions and millions of dollars in a bull market. Do you know what the liquidity score means? The liquidity score is just a matter of how much liquidity you have versus how much supply. That's all it is. Unmatched convictions and long returns. Well, yeah, I mean, right now in this bear markets, like if you're in anything, you should really be in it for the long term, because if you just accumulate during this bear market, you are going to you're going to reap the rewards during the bull market. So the whole purpose of these bear markets right now is for you to accumulate and accumulate and accumulate and accumulate, so that you can move yourself up the ladder, so that when a bull market does come, that you're in position to take advantage of the bull market. If you don't position yourself to take advantage in a bear market, then you're always going to be chasing the green candles. You're always going to be chasing projects up. So right now, it sounds weird to say it because people don't understand it, but right now you should be chasing projects down, not up. You should be buying the dips in these projects, because the upside in a bear market in a bull market is going to be absolutely huge. So, you don't chase green candles. We say it all the time. Do not chase green candles on any project. I don't care what project you're in. Do not chase green candles. I never buy on a green candle, ever. You very rarely will you ever hear me say buy on a green candle. That's a bad practice. It's a bad investment practice. But if you're in the bear market right now, you can find good buys on the dips. You just have to have the money on the sidelines to do it. And that's why you don't put all your money in the market. You got to have money to buy the dips. That's where you're going to make your biggest return on investment. And there's always going to be dips. There's always going to be dips in any project. It doesn't matter what project it is. There will always be a dip. It's just called trading. You just have to be ready to buy it. So with that, you guys know my time is up. I'm usually out of here by 8:15 because I usually have to go to my real job. So go ahead. We'll do this again in the morning. We usually start around 7. We'll do this again in the morning. Thanks everybody for joining us, and joining me, and go ahead and like the channel, subscribe to the channel, share this thing out, and let's get some more people in here in the morning. Let's have some really good conversations. I had to forget that rule of the numbers. Yeah. So, sometimes you forget. I will see you guys around in chats throughout the day. I do like to jump into other people's YouTube channel. I'll see you guys around in chats. If I don't see you, don't hesitate to say what's up in the chat. Because a lot of times when I am in other people's chats, I'm working at the same time. So, if I don't recognize you guys because I'm working, just go ahead and throw me a little at and let me know you're there. I'll shout you back out. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys tuning in this morning. I appreciate you guys spending your morning with me. We'll run through this real quick again, but see if anything's changed, but I doubt it. No, it looks like the pre-markets for the stock markets are all going to open up in red. It looks like we're going to open up down for the day. Not surprisingly, because we had a big day yesterday, like we talked about earlier. So none of this is really a surprise. The crypto bubbles themselves. We'll go ahead and throw this on the hourly. The market is still bleeding out. It's still leaking a little bit this morning. And it looks like we lost about $2 to $3 billion out of the market on the overnight. We got to get that back just to break even in the market for the market cap. So, today looks like a rebound day. Today looks like a DCA day. Make sure you got money on the sidelines. Make sure you invest your money wisely. Make sure you're taking care of your own pockets. Make sure that you're not overextending yourselves in markets like this. And it looks like we might have lost another billion while we were talking out of the market. So the market looks like it's bleeding today. So Sam Bankman-Fried has landed in the United States. Caroline Ellison and Wong have been charged in the FTX fiasco. They've been charged. They pleaded guilty, and they are cooperating with authorities right now to assist in their investigation. That is the big news that happened last night. So go ahead and pay attention to that. See how it's going to fall out. Should get interesting. Should be a clown show. And there should be a lot of people that go down in that, and we will see. But Caroline and Ellison and Wong have pleaded guilty to conspiracy and also fraud charges and also commodity fraud. And they are cooperating with investigators. So nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. This is going to get interesting. So with that, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, share it out. I'm out. Everybody have a great day.